Good morning, sixth grade. Happy Friday. Yes, you have made it to Friday, okay? So let's turn in our books to page 269, okay? We're going to cover Mexico and Central America. Turn your books to page 269. We're going to talk about the geography of Middle America and Latin America and how that came about. Let's start off with Middle America. Mexico, Central America, and the West Indies are often called Middle America, basically because they lie between the United States and South America. That's how they got their name. Now, Canada and the United States are called Anglo America because English is the main language of these countries, okay? The part of the New World that lies south of the United States is called Latin America. That's because Spanish and other languages developed from the Latin are the main tongue of most nations today. So to this day, they still use that type of language. Now, besides language difference, other factors distinguish Latin America from Anglo America. For example, Roman Catholicism, that's the main religion in Latin America. Next, Protestantism prevails in Canada and the United States, okay? Now, as we flip over to page 270 on 15.2, we're going to read about Mexico and the land of the Aztecs. Who were the Aztecs? Where did they come from? What type of tribes is that, okay? So let's get into the early Indian civilization, the rise of the Aztecs. Now, Mexico, the southern neighbor of the United States, was first inhabited by Indian tribes. Their civilization was short-lived. However, within a few hundred years, the Aztecs, a nomadic tribe, from the south, they had come to power, okay? But by the end of the 1400s, they had established a powerful temple with a magnificent capital, okay? On the side where Mexico City stands today. Now let's get into the education. Now the Aztecs, they didn't have an alphabet at all, but they invented pictures and symbols for their words, all right? Now as we move on, Spanish explorers discovered Mexico in 1517. So this is when the Spanish started to explore in the span. Hernando Cortez sailed to Mexico in 1519 just to find gold and silver. He was looking for treasure. Because the Aztecs had never seen a white man or horses before, they worshipped the Spanish soldiers as gods. Okay? Now, the Aztec emperor gave Cortez and his men gifts of gold and silver. But now, do you think that's all that Hernando wanted? He was searching for gold and silver, but then he got what he wanted, but you think he probably wanted more? That is correct. He wanted more. Okay? Cortez was not satisfied. So, with the help of the Aztec enemies, the Spanish conquered the Aztecs and became a Spanish colony. However, the Mexicans served Spain for the next 300 years. So, they had rule over the Aztecs for the next 300 years. But in 1810, the Mexicans, they revolted, okay? The Mexicans won their independence in 1821, and then they were able to set up a new government. So just notice how they were under rule for 300 years. Then they finally got together and decided enough is enough, and then they stood up for themselves and established their own governments. So let's flip over to page 272, the Spanish language. Sometime next week, I will post a date. I will quiz us on a few of these common Spanish words, just a few. So make sure you know the days of the week, the numbers, and a few common phrases, okay? So make sure you know the days of the week, a few of the Spanish numbers, and common phrases.